the one shot that I in the theater like blew my mind. Like if the movie had stopped, if I had a remote, I would have paused or stopped the movie after this scene just to digest everything that was going on. And I refer to it lovingly as the melody scene, and I'll explain in the spoiler section as to why. But that scene alone worth the price of admission. That one scene was so incredible and beautiful. Sheesh. You ain't nothing. Okay, what's going on, gang? I just got out of the theater. I just saw Sinners, and I'm still trying to process it. I'm still trying to process what I saw. So I am going to, of course, talk about it spoiler free first, then spoilers. So please just bear with me. I'm winging it. I don't have any notes just yet. I mean, it's still fresh in my mind, but it was a lot. It was a lot to process. So first and foremost, shout out to Ryan Coogler, who directed it, of course. Shout out to Michael B. Jordan, who turned in a crazy good performance. I have IMDb pulled up, so if I'm, shout out to Ludwig Göransson for the score. Again, anytime you get those three together, it's a good time. I mean, you've got Fruitvale Station. I don't know if Ludwig did Fruitvale Station's score, but Fruitvale Station, Black Panther, Creed, and now this. And I'm not going to lie, they don't miss.
This motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's good.
That motherfucker don't miss.
This movie is phenomenal for so many reasons, and I'm still, like I said, trying to process my thoughts as they come, because you're inundated with so much for what you pay for this movie. It feels like I got more than my money's worth. Like I feel like I don't want to watch any movies at least for the next 12 hours, because I can't watch anything else, because I need to get my brain in order after seeing what I just saw. And just for, like, I guess context, I drove home in silence coming home from this movie, and I never do that. Like, I will, if my Apple CarPlay is not working, I will pull over and like restart my car to make sure that I got my tunes. But I just had to sit and think. There was no song that could really kind of go with what I was feeling based off of what I just saw in this movie. So anyway, yeah, oh my goodness, it's insane. I mean, the photography. Who was the photography by? Who was the cinematography by? I need to give everyone their props for what they just turned in. That's Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, here we go. So this was written and directed by Ryan Coogler. Shout out to him, man. He's a freaking juggernaut. Sorry, I live in the hood. Cinematographer, Autumn Durald Arkapaw. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. She cooked. There are some... Okay, just... because I want to get into spoilers. So this movie takes place, if you don't know the premise, it is a movie that takes place in the Jim Crow South in 1932, specifically in Mississippi. And as a black man who grew up in the North and only kind of read about this in textbooks and stuff like that, they do an incredible job of painting this world as beautiful but bleak. This movie is about love and about loss. It is about, like, what makes a person a good person and what makes a bad person, and what separates the two. The main cast, all of them, phenomenal. Phenomenal. Sheesh, man. Miles Canton, who plays young Sammy, that young man is he can act and he can sing, and hey, he really did his thing in this movie. Of course, Michael B. Jordan did his thing in this movie. Oh my goodness. Who else is like a standout? Miss Lee Jun Lee. She also did a phenomenal job, and I'll get into that. And as to why, I'll get into that later. My goodness, Delroy Lindo turns in a really great performance. Hailee Steinfeld turns in a very layered performance. Oh my goodness. Miss Wunmi Mosaku, who plays Annie, she also turns in a phenomenal performance. Like I thoroughly enjoyed what she had to offer. Everyone in this main cast, shout out to each and every one of them, because the movie does a good job of making you feel these characters and feel for these characters for what happens. My goodness. I mean, I don't even think I've been to Mississippi, but like there's some wide shots in here of just cotton fields, and of course they're just beautiful. There's a few shots in here. Okay, one in particular. The one shot that in the theater like blew my mind. Like if the movie had stopped, if I had a remote, I would have paused or stopped the movie after this scene just to digest everything that was going on. And I refer to it lovingly as the melody scene, and I'll explain in the spoiler section as to why. But that scene alone worth the price of admission. That one scene was so incredible and beautiful. Sheesh. Look, man. I really am a fan of this film, and I would pay to go see it again. I was trying to explain everything. Oh, speaking of the shots and everything, there's another scene in this movie where, because it's the Jim Crow South, the streets are segregated. So there's a white side and a black side of the street. There's a scene where a character goes from one side to the other, and the camera follows them all the way through. It's a oneer. And then they go to get another character, and then the camera follows that. It does a reverse, all one take, back across the street where it came from to continue with the dialogue. And I was just blown away by that. It was so good. The costume design, phenomenal. I really can't say enough about this movie. My goodness, it's just so layered. And I think I read somewhere that Ryan Coogler based this off of like an idea from his grandfather, which is crazy in a good way. But
there's some family ties, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I can talk about all of it here. It's the best place to talk about, man.
Mm-hmm.
Thank y'all for inviting me, because y'all get all of this. So look, I had an uncle named Uncle James Edmondson.
Mm-hmm.
And he was born and raised in Mississippi, but then fled to Oakland when he was like in his 20s. So that's where I was born. And we probably like the second wave of the Great Migration, right? And he was basically like the oldest member of my family for oldest male member of my family for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And when my parents couldn't afford to buy a house in Oakland, we ended up moving to Richmond, which is, is essentially like Newark would be here in New York, right? If Oakland was Brooklyn. And shortly after we moved, my Uncle James and his family moved. They was like down the block from me, you know. So I would go spend time with him. When I wanted to get out the house, I could walk to his house. And all he would do when he was off from work is he would listen to he would either watch a San Francisco Giants game on TV or he would listen to it on the radio if it wasn't televised. He'd drink Old Taylor whiskey and play blues records on vinyl. You know what I'm saying? And I came to associate that music with him. I didn't think about the music. You know, for me it was you know what I'm saying, it was rap and R&B, right? But in 2015, he ended up passing away, and he got sick while I was making Creed. So I was in Philly for most of the time while he was sick. Then I had to go to LA, you know what I'm saying, and do post production. And I got the call that he died while I was like, I don't know, like picture locking or something. And I felt like shit, bro. Can I cuss on this?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I felt like shit, bro. I remember being in the hallway with my wife who produced this movie, Sinners, and just feeling like, bro, what the fuck am I doing, man? I'm not at home with my, you know what I'm saying? I'm like in a hallway in the middle of LA in some dirty production facility, you know what I'm saying? And I made it home for the funeral, but I never reckoned with that feeling of not being there with somebody who was so important to me. And so I would find myself when I was thinking about him playing like all blues records. You feel me? Like and when I would listen to him, it was like if I closed my eyes, it was like he was there with me. You know what I'm saying? Like the power of music to be able to do that, right?
Yeah, and the movie does so well building up suspense throughout. I mean, like, you know what's coming, but it still does a really good job of just setting the scene. These characters feel real. There's a lot of conversations that happen that I've had in my personal life between characters, and they feel like family. They feel like my family, right? And man, it is it's a well-written, well put together film. The music, I'm not even a fan of blues, but the way it is used in this film makes me a believer. And by that I mean characters all throughout. I don't know if it was ADR or these characters actually performed the music that they performed. Like, you know, I don't know if the actors themselves did it or they got someone else to sing for them. But the songs that you hear in here, I don't know if y'all have ever been to church or heard something where y'all make a stank face and do one of these, but I was sitting next to an older black couple and there's a scene in the car where a character is playing a guitar and another character is just dumbfounded by how wonderful they sound. The audience was right there with them, and this woman was just like, go ahead, baby. It was great. Go see it. Go see this movie. It's a good time. Man. Yes. Whew. All right. That was 12 minutes of spoiler free. Now I'm spoiling everything, okay?